Okay, today we are going to be upgrading this Traxxas latraxx Baja prerunner with favorite brand Surpass hobby motor ESC combo for this, along with putting a better battery instead of the Traxxas battery. So it doesn't have a lot of runtime on it. It's a nickel metal hydro battery going with a 2S lipo battery. So which is this 2200 milliamp. Get some more runtime out of it. So, and you got two batteries for it, and we're also going to be fixing it because it broke. So I'm gonna get into fixing it first because this arm right here keeps wanting to pop out because it's cracked right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it is cracked right there. So I'm gonna take it apart. It's a very simple fix, just a couple screws. Uses Phillips, by the way. So there is, yep. So there's two right here, two here, and two on the top right there of the bumper. Should pop right out. Yep, just like so. Damn it. And it all flopped apart. Nice. So now, probably see that crack better. Yeah. It's cracked. Right there. Because it kept ripping the pin out. So, part number 7635. Comes with both of them. Comes with the front and rear. So if you ever need to replace the rear for the same problem, you can, and just reverse the step processes. Right, so now it's time for the fun stuff, the ESC and all that. So which it comes with on the box. Comes with your little paper directions and what the motor spec is on it, all that, blah 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 blah. So, but I do wish Surpass Hobby would give you like a little decal, something, man. Like, come on, like, such a good cheap motor ESC combo. I have them in several of my vehicles. Yes, I did blow one up, but that was because it wasn't in. That one I blew up because it was for a two-wheel drive application and not a 4x4 application, so that's why it blew up. And plus, I was running it pretty hard in the prerunner.
in my prerunner, not this one.
So we're going to be taking off partial off this top tray right here. Get rid of this dumb Traxxas battery. Don't need that no more.
I'm gonna be popping this thing off. There we go. Alright. Then go back to channel 1, steering. Okay, so it is double-sided tape. Unplug the motor, like so.
We don't need any more. Take that off. Now this is double-sided tape, so you can just,
I guess, rip it off, but I'm gonna screw one of these back screws back in because I had this back cover off, which I don't know where that back cover is.
it's probably in the box.
Okay, so I need to put this screw back in all the way.
There we go. Pops right out. Don't need that anymore. Now we can flip it over. These two little screws on the bottom releases a motor plate. To undo these screws again. Ta-da! Alright, everything's out of it now. So, now we're going to just got
Two little Phillips screws right there.
going to check to make sure the screws screw in to our new motor. It's not like it's a different size screw and you need a different size screw. I know sometimes it's like that. Yeah, see, if you look on here, see there's different hole sizes. There's this one for the bigger screws, this one for the smaller screws. We need this bigger one. So don't use this one. Use the bigger one because of the screw size. So now we know what our motor needs to be at rotation wise. So yeah. First off, you get this screw out of here. So it's messing with me. Okay. And what I like to do is just put a little bit dab of blue Loctite on them. I know people say, oh, you should be used to, but I've had these come back out and destroy some stuff. So, because if this backs out, then your pinion will not be touching the spur gear, and sometimes that will cause it to eat your spur gear up too. So you don't want that, because then you gotta tear it all apart again. It sucks. Don't put a lot on it there, just a dab, just a tiny bit. Alright, now we gotta get the pinion off, which is a small little Allen. Nope, not that size. Not that size either. It is a 1.5 millimeter. So now the entire Traxxas system is out of it. Which, don't get me wrong, it worked great, but it was just lacking runtime and a little bit of power too. So, and same thing with your little grub screw for the pinion. Just put a little bit on it. Don't need a lot, just a little bit. Alright. So now I'm going to put this whole thing back into where the motor was. Put these wires up. So we can get the proper mesh that we need. Okay, maybe they stay down. That seems pretty damn good. So now I'm just going to tighten down the pinion on the motor. Just give it a nice snug.
Now we're just going to pull this out and give these a nice snug, so that way it cannot move. Alright, that is all done. Now realize you did not need to take the bottom screws out. My bad. No biggie. Alright, now I'm gonna go find that cover. Okay, so I found it. Just like I said, it was in the box of parts. So, mesh. Mesh feels good. So, I'm just gonna pop this on there, lift this up. Bada bing, bada boom. Two longer ones go right here. You want this cover on there because if rocks and dirt get in there, it could possibly get into that gear, could mess up your pinion gear and your spur gear. So definitely need that on, unless if you're testing it for different pinion sizes and stuff, you know, then you could leave it off for a little bit, but honestly it's just 3 screws, so really don't need it off to do that either. So snug these down like so. Boom, boom. Now time for the fun stuff. I gotta get this off. Alright, just got it all cleaned off. Put some double-sided tape on the ESC part so it can go back in factory location. So what we're gonna do is have the motor plugs facing this way. Make sure. Okay, so we're gonna try and put it back in this thing. Oh. Oh, that doesn't fit in there. Okay, I made it work. I just kind of spreaded this apart a little bit. Hooked the signal wire up to channel 2. That's where you want it. So now we can use the factory screws. I thought I was gonna have to cut it, but nope. Just open it up a little bit. Get that screw in. There we go. That was some finessing right there to get that screw in. Had to pinch the sides and pull up on it just to get that in. But now it's all factory. Not factory, but factory. You know what I mean. So I'm gonna get some double-sided tape on this. Put it on the side. All right. Now, if you don't know what wire goes where, what I usually do is the first wire right here, and then the first wire that's on the motor. That's how I usually put them together. And then if something's backwards, well, then I figure that out later. And then just go in order. So, let's see. Batteries are kind of charged up. No, I did not charge these batteries at all. So, turn the remote on. That's weird. I turned this. That's odd. Okay, let me mess with this. Alright, figured it out. For the ESC, it's supposed to be on channel 3, not channel 2 for the Traxxas. Weird. But when I was running, the spur gear was kind of a little too tight, so I undid it, and now it sounds a lot better. So just gotta tighten the screws. Okay, it's tight. Now we gotta put it back together. Yay! Not that hard. Alright. It'll be fine. Oh. The 2 little beeps means it's 2S. Hold it up. What the? That still doesn't sound right. Alright, loosen it up a little bit. That sounds better. That sounds a lot better. Should. Yep. Bam. Fits nice in there.
probably get a little strap for it. Everything works, including these, so that's good. So that's going to end this video of modifying this, making it better, and having a better battery, and having 2 batteries. I want to say everything was off of Amazon, so the Surpass Hobby, ESC motor combo batteries, and the part to fix this, I think it was roughly like 80 bucks, I want to say. So not too bad for an upgrade on this thing. And also, as you can see, it has already a bunch of different upgrades. It has shocks, it has lower control arms from Hobby Park or C. Those guys are awesome for making stuff for these little chassis. Oh, also it has upgraded axles from Hobby Park RC. So good little upgrade for this, and maybe get a video of it running. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of wet, raining out there, so but I will put in a couple clips of the ECX trophy truck jumping, and well, the epoxy didn't hold up, so it's going to be a parts rig now, unfortunately, for my mouse truck. So yep, stay tuned for some other shenanigans that I get into, whether it be RCs, mini bikes, or whatever. So maybe I'll work on that, maybe I'll work on the boat, maybe I'll repaint that, I don't know, we'll see. But catch you guys later. Oh!